Welcome to the University 110E seminar for Praxis, Plato, and Academic Advising. In this seminar, we're going to look at the Praxis Core Academic Skills Test Pledge, how to register for the Praxis Core Academic Skills Test, Plato, pre-advisement for spring semester, program evaluation, and the professional program requirements. All Spadoni College of Education majors are responsible for meeting all requirements for entrance into the professional teacher education program in a timely and efficient manner. Students who do not exempt the Praxis Core Academic Skills Test, also known as the Praxis 1, are expected to sign the Praxis 1 Pledge. By signing the pledge, freshman students consent to attending the Core Academic Skills Praxis 1 test before or at the end of their freshman year. In addition, all students signing this pledge are committed to doing their best to successfully pass all three parts of the Praxis Core test. A copy of the pledge is kept in each student's file. This pledge will be considered by the Professional Program Portal Committee for those students who fail to enter the professional program at their designated time. Most students will enter the professional program at the beginning of their junior year. A copy of the Praxis Core Academic Skills Test Pledge for educators is found on page 13 of the Pre-Professional Handbook. How to register for Praxis 1. The Praxis Core Academic Skills Test for Educators registration step-by-step instructions can be found on page 14 of the Pre-Professional Handbook. You'll type in the ets.org web address, and you'll click on the Praxis series of tests. Under the state testing requirements, you'll click on the drop-down box and select South Carolina. On the overview of South Carolina testing requirements, under the Ready to Take a Praxis test, select Register. Click Create Account, complete both parts of Create Your Account, and then once you've created your account, you can register for a test. Under Select the Test, under 1, find a test certifying state or agency, select South Carolina from the drop-down box. Then under the state agency, select SC Department of Education and click Search. Under 2, select the test you want to take. Scroll down to Core Academic Skills for Educators Combined and select it in the checkbox. Individual tests for the Praxis Core Academic Skills Test are also available. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and select Continue. On the page titled Computer Delivered Test to be scheduled, click on the Schedule Computer Tests. Under the Select a Test Center, enter the zip code of the city where you wish to take the test. If you plan to take the test here at Coastal, you'll enter the Coastal zip code 29526. Select the testing center. Select the testing center where you plan to take the test. If you test at CCU, you'll select ETS, Coastal Carolina University, Conway SC, APCN-7749. Choose a date from those available. You'll see a box that says Next Available Date, but that is not the only date available. The gray boxes on the calendars are live links to available testing sites. You can click on the arrow at the top of the calendars to move to the next month, where there are also available testing dates. Select your test date. The system will then prompt you for your payment. These are each of the tests at a glance. The first test is the Core Academic Skills for Educators Reading Test. Its testing code is 5712. It's 85 minutes. It consists of 56 multiple choice questions. The multiple choice questions are based on reading passages and statements. The content categories are key ideas and details, craft structure and language skills, and integration of knowledge and ideas. And this shows the approximate percentage of each one of those categories of testing questions. The Praxis Core Reading Test, the test code is 5722. It's about 100 minutes divided into 4 40-minute selected response section and 2 30-minute essay sections. There are 40 selected response questions and 2 essay questions. The selected response questions involve usage, sentence correction, revision, and research skills, and the 2 essay topics are the basis for the writing samples. The content categories are type, text types, purposes and production, and language and research skills. The math test is 5730, test code 5732, 85 minutes, 56 questions. The format is selected response questions, where you select one answer choice, selected response questions, where you can select one or more answer choices, numeric entry questions, and on-screen calculator. The content categories are number and quantity, algebra and functions, geometry, and statistics and probability. Plato. What is Plato? Plato is a web-based learning environment which offers Praxis core academic skills for educators test web-based simulation software that is free to students. To set up a Plato account, do the following. Log into Plato. You'll get an email containing your Plato login information. Once you've received your Plato login information, in an internet browser, go to https://ple.platoweb.com. Enter the account login CCU2. Enter your Plato name. This should be your CCU username. For example, jdoe@coastal.edu. jdoe is the username. Enter your password. This is your CCU ID number, and click Login. Then click on Assignments to begin. Once you have your username and password, go to the Advising Center to sign in with the graduate assistant or the student worker by the University 110 instructor. You will use the computers in Prince 209 or the Advising Center waiting room. Your login and completion of modules will be confirmed each time you log in and complete a module. And you must spend at least 60 minutes working on the Plato modules. This is timed. There's a report that shows how many minutes you spent on working on your modules. How Plato works. Complete one of the 4 Praxis tests in reading, writing, essay, or math. Upon completion of each test, the Plato software will automatically prescribe modules for you to complete for areas in which you scored 80% or less proficiency. Work on the prescriptions to increase your knowledge and skills, and then complete a second test. Did your score improve? Academic advising. Pre-advisement. All students are required to meet with their academic advisors during the pre-advisement period. Only after meeting with the academic advisor will the advising hold be lifted. Therefore, you cannot register for classes until after you have met with your advisor. Your academic advisor will contact you when he or she is ready to set up appointments for your pre-advising appointment. Once you've set up your pre-advising appointment, make sure that you note the date and time in your planner. If you cannot make your pre-advising appointment, please notify your academic advisor as soon as you're aware of this and cancel your advising appointment. Program evaluation. The program evaluation is a document that lists all coursework a student must complete to earn their degree. The program evaluation also lists a student's required, current earned, and current remaining credits, institutional GPA, and overall GPA. Students may view their program evaluation via Web Advisor, that is included under Academic Planning Group, as shown above. The first part is the program summary. This shows the credits that you've earned, the current remaining credits, anticipated additional credits, and anticipated remaining credits. It will show you the required institutional credits and the required GPA. The required GPA to enter a professional education program is 2.75. The program evaluation core curriculum. This shows the requirements that you must meet in order to complete the core curriculum requirements. This also shows the core curriculum and graduation requirements. There is an experiential learning requirement which you will meet in one of your Q classes. And Q classes that education majors take are Education 215, Education 204, and your major requirement classes. So you don't have to worry about meeting this requirement because you will meet this requirement. The professional program for teacher education. These are the requirements for each area of the teacher education program at Coastal Carolina University's Spadoni College of Education. This is the Early Childhood Education Program. Program requirements: at least 60 credits by the end of the semester in which the student applies, including these classes. Have less than 4 core foundations courses not completed. These are the 4 foundations courses that are required for entry into the Early Childhood Education Program. Have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.75 and pass the Praxis Core Academic Skills for Educators test in math, reading, and writing, or have a minimum required score on the ACT or SAT. Elementary education. Program requirements are the same, pretty much the same as they are for early childhood education. At least 60 credits by the end of the semester in which you apply for the professional education program, including these classes. Have less than 4 core foundations courses not completed. These are the foundations courses that are required. And some of these courses can be taken during the professional program in the elementary education professional program. Minimum cumulative GPA of 2.75, pass the Praxis Core Academic Skills Test for Educators, or have the minimum score on the ACT or SAT. Middle level education. Same program requirements, 60 credits. These are the credits that must be completed. Must have half of the course content area, have less than 4 core foundations courses uncompleted, have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.75, pass the Praxis Core Academic Skills Test for Educators in math, reading, and writing, and have the minimum score on the ACT or SAT. Physical education. Same program requirements, the 60 credits. And these include 1 PALS course from 102 to 124, 2 PALS courses from 125 to 149, and 2 PALS courses from 150 to 180. Minimum cumulative GPA 2.75, pass the Praxis test in math, reading, and writing, or have the minimum ACT or SAT score. And then special education, pretty much the same. 60 credits, and this includes EDSP 200, which must be completed before entering the professional program. Have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.75, pass the Praxis Core Academic Skills for Educators test in math, reading, and writing, or have the minimum score on the ACT or SAT. The ACT exemption cutoff scores are to exempt all parts of the Praxis Core test. The ACT composite must be 22 or higher. To exempt Praxis Core English and Writing tests, ACT English 22 or higher. To exempt Praxis Core Math test, ACT Math 22 or higher. So it is possible to score lower than 22 on either the English or the Math and still have the composite of 22 or higher. SAT exemption scores. To exempt all parts of the Praxis Core Academic Skills test, you must have an SAT composite of 1100, and this is on the new SAT beginning in March of 2016, or 1650 on the old 3-part SAT taken before March of 2016. To exempt the Praxis Core English and Writing tests, you can have an SAT English score of 550 on the new SAT. And to exempt the Praxis Core Math test, you can have an SAT Math score of 550 on the new SAT. This is what the Early Childhood Foundation requirements part of your program evaluation looks like. Elementary Education Foundation's requirements. And the Special Education Foundation's requirements. Middle level. And the content area specialization requirements of the 2 content areas that you chose. Physical education,